Hi, this is Joseph with Conscious Collective, and welcome to another practice of the week. So, this week I want to focus on awakening the heart, because far too many of us spend too much time in our minds, which causes us to judge our experience, to look out to the world, to try to interpret things mentally or conceptually, and we tend to analyze, judge, and form opinions about our experience, and this often disconnects us from a real emotional connection to our experience, to life in the present moment, to people that we interact with, and even just to our own emotional state of being. So I want to invite you this week to deepen your connection to yourself, to the present moment, and ultimately to your heart, to really be aware of your heart and to live from the heart instead of living from the mind that is always analyzing and judging and thinking, to bring your awareness back to yourself, to your body, and to your heart, and to amplify this awareness of your heart, the energy of your heart, and to try to experience your life from this center, from this perspective. And this is more than just a figure of speech or something that sounds nice, but our heart really is an organ of perception. There are many very interesting studies that have been done on the human heart, and it reveals a lot more than our culture typically acknowledges about our heart. For example, the Heart Math Institute is an institute that studies the heart and has discovered some interesting things. And one of the things that they've discovered is that the heart actually sends more information to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. And the heart is an organ of perception. And how this heart perception works is that our heart emits an electromagnetic field that extends out of our body at least 8 feet. It's been measured up to at least 8 feet. And when this electromagnetic field interacts with other electromagnetic fields, it creates a reaction or a response within our heart. And then the heart sends that information to the brain where it can be further processed and integrated into our perspective or perception. So, for example, or one thing I guess that this can kind of relate to is the vibe that we feel from other things, the energy that we feel from other things is more than just like a sixth sense. It's actually the perception that our heart's field is having. So when this heart field radiating beyond your body interacts with another field, it creates a feeling, it creates some sense that then sends that information to your brain where you can think about it, try to process it, but before it even gets to the brain, if you're just staying with your heart, you can sense and feel intuitively and immediately how you feel about something, how you feel about another person, another being, a plant, an animal. We can pick up on electromagnetic fields. And so this is actually something that a lot of native cultures had a deep connection with. When they learned about different plants, for example, they were doing so not just by trial and error, seeing if this plant's poisonous or not, and hoping for the best, but they actually were so connected to their heart and this feeling perception that they could feel the energetic field of plants and be able to ask it questions, to sit with a plant, to sense deeply the energy of that plant, to know in themselves whether it was safe or not and what exactly the plant did. And really an amazing amount of knowledge was gained through this ancient practice of sitting with a plant and sensing its energy. And so many of us in our modern culture orient to things from our minds. We are always thinking about our experience. We're not really just directly feeling our experience in the present moment, but we are looking at our present moment experience and projecting all of our past knowledge, all of our beliefs, all of our ideas, our concepts, our judgments and opinions, and all of that keeps us so much in our minds and out of our hearts and this direct feeling perception that our hearts have. So this week, I want to invite you and myself to practice living from our heart. And really, this means to me two things. The first is to, instead of experiencing things with such an intellectual, kind of analyzing, judging, projecting kind of standpoint, we are more so just feeling things before we interpret them intellectually. Can we just stay with the actual direct feeling of our experience? So as we navigate through life, as we navigate through our experience, our circumstances, can we be very attentive and in tune with our feeling and how it's changing from moment to moment without judging it as good or bad or right or wrong or trying to put it into any intellectual box? Can we just stay with the direct feeling of something from moment to moment? So that's the first thing that means to me, is living from our heart. The other is really awakening more of the qualities of the heart, the things that we associate with our heart, qualities of kindness, qualities of compassion, of love, of care, of generosity, these things that we associate with a more heart-centered way of being. Can we activate that or strengthen that in ourselves, wherever you may be in your own connection to your heart, or how often you live with a heart-centered approach to life, whether you are loving or not, whether you are kind or not? Can we, for this week, try to awaken more of these qualities of the heart? And one thing that I also want to emphasize is, can we awaken these qualities not just towards other people or towards our experience, but can we awaken this quality of the heart towards ourselves? Can we be more loving to ourselves? Can we be more kind to ourselves? Can we be more appreciative of ourselves and our life and not put so much stress and pressure on ourselves? So to me, this coming back to our heart and awakening the heart and experiencing life from the heart is a way for us to relax, a way for us to come back to ourselves, to be a little bit more gentle with ourselves and our experience, and instead of putting so much pressure and stress on ourselves, to experience things with more appreciation, more gratitude, more ease, more joy, more love, and more positive qualities, instead of fear and anxiety and stress that can kind of happen when we get disconnected from our heart and our present moment experience and we get too mental and too intellectual. So in this practice video, I want to invite you to join me in connecting to our heart space, feeling what that feels like, and then sort of retraining ourselves to kind of quickly come back to our hearts in our day-to-day lives, so that when we find ourselves in our minds, we can come back to ourselves, come back to our heart, and then live from this place. So we will connect with our heart in this practice, and then we will practice a living from the heart as we go back into our daily lives. So to begin, I invite you to find a comfortable position. Wherever you're sitting now, just allow yourself to sit up straight in a relaxed but dignified posture, and then gently close your eyes. And begin by just taking a few deep breaths. So, taking a deep breath in, and a deep breath out, letting go with a sigh. Just allowing yourself to soften, to relax, to slow down. Just taking another deep breath in. A deep breath out, letting go. And really just arriving in this present moment. And letting yourself be here with your body, with your breath. Taking another deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Now, keeping your eyes closed so that your awareness is focused within yourself, place your hands on your heart, both hands, whether it's left over right or right over left, doesn't really matter. Just place your hands on your heart center and take a moment to feel your heart. whether this means your physical heart, your heartbeat, or just energetically the center of your heart. Place your hands here, focus your attention here, and allow yourself to just be here with your heart, sort of bringing your mind down into your heart and letting yourself just be here. You can also shift your breathing to be focused on this heart center. So as you breathe in, imagine that you're breathing directly into your heart. When you breathe out, you're breathing out from your heart. And as you do this, see if you can just feel the energy that is present here in your heart. So not thinking about it or adding thoughts to it, not interpreting it or judging it mentally, but just being aware, being sensitive, being receptive and open, and just feeling the energy of your heart. Being curious and interested about what is present here in your heart space. And as you breathe and sit here with your awareness on your heart, with your hands on your heart, can you feel a natural softening in your experience? Can you feel a gentleness in this space? Can you feel a tenderness from your heart towards yourself, towards your experience? I can only say from my experience, but for me, whenever I do this, I place my hands on my heart, I slow down and I breathe and just be with my heart, it naturally causes me to soften, to relax, to let go of any tension that I have in my body, in my shoulders, my face, my jaw, to really just slow down and just be with myself. So if that's your experience already, great. And if it's not your innate experience, then I invite you to practice softening, to let go of any tension in your body, in your mind, to allow yourself to be still, to be slow, to be soft, to be gentle, to be tender, and to feel your heart. Feel some tenderness, some warmth in this space here. And continuing to breathe into your heart and out from your heart. So let's try to activate some more of these qualities of the heart. There's going to be two in particular that we're going to focus on. The first one is compassion. So what I like to think of to help me activate this energy of compassion in myself and my heart is to relate to my experience like a loving mother relates to her child. So relating to myself in that way as well. So think of a loving mother, a mother that has so much care, so much love for her child. And when she sees her child, when she feels her child, there's this deep wisdom, this deep love and understanding that she has towards her child. Can you awaken this motherly energy in yourself? We all have this motherly energy within our hearts, this part of us that is caring, that is nurturing, So can you feel this in yourself, excuse me, and feel this towards yourself? So whatever your experience may be, whatever your circumstances may be, whatever you feel you're worthy of or not worthy of, whatever you excuse me, whatever you may have done in the past, or whether you think you're not good enough in some area of your life, just recognize that you are doing your best. Every single day you're putting in the effort to live, to face your life, to try to make the most of your life, to take care of your responsibilities, to be with the stress of your circumstances and all the things that you go through. Instead of comparing yourself to where you could be or what you haven't done or however it is that you may relate to yourself, in this moment right now, can you just have some love, compassion, and care for yourself? Can you have some kindness towards yourself? Can you see yourself as you would a child? You know, if a child didn't live up to some expectation or they didn't do something perfectly, you probably wouldn't judge them or yell at them or talk down to them. You would look at them with some care, some understanding, and know that they're just doing their best. So with that same energy of wisdom, of understanding, of care, and kindness, can you hold yourself with that same love? So take a moment to just feel what that feels like for you. To love yourself as a loving mother loves her child. And to breathe into that. And to allow yourself to soften. To soften and to open. There's a wonderful mantra or saying that Thich Nhat Hanh says to himself, recommends that we say to ourselves, and this is the phrase, "Dear one, I am here for you." So to really be here for yourself, to show up for yourself, no matter what you're going through in life, no matter what you've done or haven't done, no matter what comes, no matter what happens, to be there for yourself, to be there to support yourself, to care for yourself, to encourage yourself, and just to let yourself know that you're here. You're here for you. So with this love, with this genuine desire to be here for yourself, can you say to yourself, "Dear one, I am here for you." And feel what that feels like in your heart, to really be here for yourself, to be kind to yourself, to be a friend to yourself, to love yourself. Dear one, I am here for you. For all the suffering that you experience in your life, you know, we all experience suffering, we all experience pain in many different forms at many different times. So all the pain that you've been through, all the suffering you've been through that you continue to struggle with, can you just be here for yourself and let yourself know in your heart, "Dear one, I am here for you." And smile to yourself. Feel this warmth towards yourself, this energy of love in your heart, this energy of care. Dear one, I am here for you. what does this bring up for you in your heart? When you focus on these qualities, when you say, "Dear one, I am here for you," when you soften and open towards yourself, can you feel an actual energy in your heart center? You don't need to think about it or make sense of it with your mind or define it with your thoughts, but can you just feel? Can you sense what is present here? What does this bring up for you in your heart? What's alive here in your heart as we go through this practice together? And if you're feeling some love towards yourself, which hopefully you are, and you're feeling this energy of care and kindness, this motherly quality, what would it be like if you always related to yourself in this way? So that no matter what happens, no matter what choices you make, whether you succeed or fail, whether you do the right thing or made a poor choice, no matter what happens, what would it be like if you related to yourself with this loving energy? What would it be like to love yourself unconditionally? So no matter what the conditions or circumstances, no matter what happens, what would it be like if you held yourself with this energy of unconditional love, care, kindness, and support towards yourself? Can you take just a moment to feel what it feels like to have true love and care for yourself? So breathe into that. What does that feel like? Can you imagine what would it be like to relate to other people in this way? To your family, to your friends, to people you don't know? What would it be like to see with the eyes of love, to look out to the world from this center of care, kindness, compassion, and love? Can you imagine how different your experience would be? How different you would treat other people? How other people might relate or respond to you? What would your life be like if you lived from your heart? If you spoke from your heart? If you listened from your heart? If you lived from your heart? It's possible for us to do if we can remember to slow down, to breathe, and to come back to our hearts. And if we nurture this energy of love and compassion within our hearts, I like to think of this loving energy in the heart like a little flame, and I need to stoke this fire. I need to add kindling to it. So every loving word that I say to myself, every loving thought that I have, every time I'm loving towards another person, it's like adding a little bit of kindling to this fire, and I'm trying to keep this precious flame alive within myself. This fire of the heart, to stoke it, to blow air onto it, to nurture it and keep it healthy and strong. So essentially that's what we're doing. We're putting our energy here. We're focusing our attention here. We are adding some sticks, some kindling to this fire. Another analogy I sometimes think of is watering the seed. So maybe that resonates with you more if you think of your heart as this flower, this plant, and it needs water, it needs care, it needs attention to stay healthy. Whichever analogy, the general idea is the same. that to keep this energy alive, we need to focus on it. We need to remember it, keep it in our awareness, and nourish it. Water the seed, add some kindling to the flame. So the next way that we're going to do this is by focusing on what it is that we are grateful for. Because when we focus on appreciation, on thankfulness, it also helps to awaken energy within our hearts. So keeping your hand on your heart, think of one thing in this moment that you're grateful for. Whatever comes to mind. Something that you appreciate, something you care for, care about. Maybe it's a person, someone special in your life. Maybe it's an accomplishment. Maybe you succeeded in something. Maybe it's a material thing. Maybe you worked really hard to get something that you now have. Whatever comes to mind, take a moment to recognize it and just say thank you. From the core of your heart, with true gratitude, say thank you. Thank life for this person, this object, whatever it is. Feel genuine appreciation for it, genuine thankfulness, and just say thank you. And feel what that feels like in your heart. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Say thank you to this breath that is giving you life, that is allowing you to experience moment by moment. Feeling gratitude for this force of life. Breathing into it, breathing in as if, again, you're breathing into your heart and from your heart, and just saying thank you for this breath. And saying thank you to the other elements that sustain us. So the earth, Mother Earth, the water, the food, the light and warmth of the sun, all of these elements that are allowing us to be, to experience this life. Can we take a moment to just say and feel thank you? To feel this gratitude in our hearts. Thank you for sustaining my existence. Thank you for allowing me to live and to experience life. Thank you. So with every awareness of what we're grateful for, every time we say thank you, we are just adding another stick to this fire in our hearts. We're adding another drop of water to this plant in our hearts. So let's focus now on thanking ourselves. It's really easy for us to criticize ourselves, to judge ourselves, compare ourselves, but how often do we just thank ourselves for all of the effort that we put in, all the things we do for ourselves, for our lives, every single day? When is the last time you have genuinely thanked yourself? And can you take this moment to do it now and to feel truly grateful for you, for showing up for yourself in your life the best that you can, day after day? Take a moment to just say thank you. You know, this experience of life is truly a mystery. There are so many aspects to existence that we will never know, we will never understand. There's so much complexity, so much mystery to our experience, but yet we are here. We are here, we are alive, we are awake, right here and now, in this moment. And our lives, at least in this body, are temporary. We will not always be here. We will not be here in this body to experience the world in this way. It's really a very precious experience that we're having. And we get so caught up in our problems and our worries and our responsibilities that we overlook this fact that our lives are temporary, that this experience is impermanent, and therefore it is incredibly precious. Every single moment truly is precious, is sacred, every second of our lives. And so many of us live without an awareness of this fact. But what would it be like if you were aware of the preciousness of life, of your experience, moment by moment? How would you live if you held this awareness in your heart? If you saw each moment of your life as precious, as sacred? Because it truly is. So can you feel in your heart gratitude, true gratitude and appreciation for being alive right here and now, for being in this body, for having this experience, for having the relationships that you have, for having the hobbies, the joys, the interests, the things that you like, the places you've seen, to experience this beautiful, mysterious world, and just to be here, alive, right now? Can you feel gratitude and thankfulness in yourself for this experience and just say, thank you. Thank you, life. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Thank you, body. Thank you, nature. Thank you for allowing me to live all of these forces of life, whatever is coming together to sustain my being and allow me to be here now. Thank you. Thank you for all of the beings in this intricate web of life, all of the relationships that are allowing me to live and experience this moment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's take another moment to just be here with our hearts, with this energy of care, compassion, love, and gratitude. Allow yourself to just rest here in this energy, in your heart, in yourself, in this moment. So let's end our formal practice today by taking 3 deep breaths in and out, through and from our heart center. So taking a deep breath into your heart, and a deep breath out. Another deep breath in, feeling the love in your heart, and breathing out, sending this love to yourself, to every cell in your body. Taking one more deep breath in through your heart, and with this loving energy, send it out, outside of you, to every being in the world. Just giving this love, sending it to all of existence. And once again, feeling and saying, thank you. So you may open your eyes if they're not already open. Just come back to this moment, to this experience. I hope that you really took this time to sit with yourself, to sit with your heart, and feel this energy in your heart. It may require more time, maybe sitting with yourself after this video, maybe taking a few minutes each day. But if you focus your awareness on your heart center and you start to intentionally activate some of these qualities of care, of compassion, of kindness, of gratitude, of thankfulness, it can help you to soften into your experience, to soften into your heart, to feel some more tenderness and emotion and connection and feeling in your heart. And then from this place, you can experience the world. You can, from moment to moment, be in this feeling center, this looking with these eyes of awe, of gratitude, of mystery, of interest, of care, just awakening these qualities in your heart and really placing your mind and your awareness into your heart and living from this place. Keeping some attention here. Perhaps it's with this breath, breathing a little bit into your heart and breathing out from your heart and just living from this heart center. It's an active practice because obviously our mental tendencies are strong and there's a strong habit that will pull us into our mind to stressing and worrying and planning and figuring things out and judging and interpreting and all of that. And there's a place for our minds, of course. And the real goal is to have coherence between our heart and our brain, which actually is very healthy for our entire body, allows us to function optimally when our brain and heart are synchronized. But because so many of us are very, in our culture, very mind oriented, putting more emphasis on the heart helps us to tip the scale back in this direction so that we can have a real balanced awareness of living from our heart and our mind. So the practice this week is to formally, for a formal practice, to take some time each day to just sit and be with your heart, to say some of these phrases if it helps. Dear one, I am here for you. Or to focus on what you're grateful for. But to put some awareness and energy into your heart for a few minutes each day, and then actively to practice living from your heart. Just keep this in mind. Keep it as an intention. When you're talking to another person, what would it be like to talk from the heart? To listen to this person from the heart? And one thing that really helps me to do this personally is to think about and recognize the suffering that people experience, the fact that every single person is having problems that we don't really know anything about. But every single person on one level is struggling, is suffering, is having difficulties and challenges. So if I can remember that, then I can relate to this person with more care, more ease, more compassion. And also to keep in mind that things are impermanent. So every single person that I interact with, they are also impermanent. I may never see this person again. This may be the last time I have this interaction with someone. So can I relate to them as such? Can I relate to each moment of my life with appreciation? Because even if I'm blessed with many more moments in life, ultimately my time here is limited. So I want to experience each moment of my life fully. And not only that, but each moment is only here as it is for this moment, and it will never be as it is again. So instead of rushing ahead to future moments and thinking about the future, can I bring my awareness back to my heart, to myself, to the present moment, and really just experience this moment with that appreciation, with that recognition that this moment is precious. Every living being that's alive here and now in this moment is precious. And can I really see with those eyes? And one last thing I'll share here is something you can also practice if you'd like, is to chant the mantra, whether internally out loud or listen to the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. This is a very famous Tibetan mantra. It's often referred to as the Great Compassion Mantra because it is a very simple mantra, but it means, so Om, it's energy of the universe. A lot of mantras are started with this Om, but Mani means mind. It also means jewel. And Padme means lotus. It also means heart. And hum is like an exclamation that you say after a word to really emphasize it. So the actual meaning and translation of this mantra is, may the jewel of my mind descend into the lotus of my heart. It's a very simple mantra, but for a lot of us, this is one of the shortest yet most difficult journeys to take, is the journey from our mind into our heart. So this mantra is just an affirmation for yourself to awaken this energy, to say this prayer for yourself, to remember, may my mind, the jewel of my mind, descend into the lotus of my heart. May I shift my awareness from this intellectual way of thinking and judging and analyzing. May I shift that down into my heart, where I can live with presence and compassion and gratitude for each moment. So, Om Mani Padme Hum. You can chant that and repeat it, you can listen to it, but that is the energy and the theme for this week's practice, is awakening the heart, awakening compassion in your heart, and just focusing your awareness on your heart. So whether that's in formal practice, in your active daily life, whether it's reading more things that are related to the heart, listening to mantras, the theme this week is our heart. What can we do to come back to our hearts and live from a more heart-centered place, a place with real care, compassion, love, and gratitude? So that's the practice. Thank you for practicing with me. I hope that you apply this practice to your life, and I hope that you're able to descend your mind into your heart and live from a more heart-centered place. So once again, thank you, and I look forward to sharing another practice with you next week.